Hello, my friends, my childrens of Adam. Here we are yet again. So, continuing off where we left off. We are currently in a war with the Tsunami. And let's just do a quick little overview of the galaxy, ignoring the very bright center. We have, I would say, about maybe a fifth of the whole galaxy now. That is not enough. So we will continue expanding, exploiting, and converting
One
enemies.
of our stations is beset by enemies.
So we do have, okay, yeah. Why am I even making a station there? Come on now. I know that's always going to be beset by enemies. So we have our fleet moving into position for the Tsunami. And they're moving up and up and up, and then we're going to start to subjugate the heck out of them. So the war here, achieving my war goals, we are just here to sort of upset them, humiliate them. You know, that kind of joyful bit. Now, I did have one feedback from Klein here. What we're going to do is in the ship designer here, the police corvette is going to be called the Cefalu. That is in reference to another series that got going on. The Cefalu would be, because the corvettes are pacifists, they don't have weapons, they're just for show. Cefalu is a pacifist in a RimWorld series, so I think that makes sense. So the Astani Horde here, we beat up pretty badly, and now they're inferior to us. They're still a rival of ours, but we're not going to be able to go to war with them for a while. And the next war we want to go to them with should be a subjugation war. We're not actually looking forward to owning their territory. In fact, I would like to gift a lot of their territory back to them. And the only way to do that is to have them be a subject of ours. The reason why I would like to gift territory back is it would decrease my empire sprawl, allowing me to research technology and traditions a little bit faster. So absolutely, that sounds good to me. So let's do a quick rundown of our homes here. 2 housing at megatons, so student will need housing. Glow is fine, Curie is fine, Cromwell is fine, and Ubaria here. I did have another tip about Ubaria. Christopher Nobles asked if it could be changed, the sort of planet type here. So let's go ahead and try that. We will set colony design to something maybe that decreases crime. Tech world, fortress world. No, that doesn't really work either. No, there's really not anything that that would be all that beneficial to us, sadly. I'll just do urban world for now, which is funny because it really doesn't have anything. So the populations here, we still have 4. Pretty soon we'll have 0. So there's only 4 Ubariks that are left in our entire galaxy. And actually probably, well, my guess is other empires took in the refugees, possibly. But if they didn't, then they've been pushed out of the entire galaxy, which is pretty dark. Another thing I wanted to do is to check for leaders. Oh, survey activated. We got, whoa, at a RAM we got a ton of engineer research. Man, that surveyor is great. Yeah, that surveyor is fantastic. Another thing I was thinking about doing is reaching out to wait, am I already? Oh yeah, Patron of the Arts and Curator Insight. Okay, we already have that. So Cromwell right now is being terraformed. I have enough money just about to terraform up another planet, so maybe Nishpan, unless there's a larger world. I don't really care about the cost of the terraforming. These guy worlds are holy worlds, so I can't touch them. I could touch the continental world here, but it's pretty small and volatile. Yeah, I would say Nishpan is probably my next best bet for a good world to inhabit. Okay. Well, if that's the case, let's get enough money to convert Nishpan over. So transform this to Continental. Continentals are default, despite the fact that Megaton, at the core of the atom, is a tomb world. There is a Continental down here. There is a bit of a penalty. The further you are from your capital, the more difficult it is to administer the territory. So I would definitely prioritize proximity to the capital over size at that point, because really, really large worlds that are very far from the capital will have a lot of ethical divergence. And ethical divergence...
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
...causes rebellions. So we got a new research. Let's go ahead and get some more minerals from our miners. Why not? So here we are at the Zanami, with our full navy and army in tow. It will be pretty easy to win this war, I think. Their fleets don't look so big.
Heretic station engaged.
And the war goals aren't that huge either. Generally speaking, when your war goals are not asking too much, the wars are easier.
New wisdom.
And what I'm going to do is just territory hop and grab all of the territory from them. I just unlocked wormhole travel, which is a pretty important one. Let's go ahead with advanced research complexes. And now, I do believe I have a wormhole in my territory somewhere, right? And I'm definitely going to want to see what is on the other side.
Heretic station engaged.
Now, I'm sort of ignoring this, like, heretic station stuff. Okay, so there's a wormhole at Ibleria. And for me to fully explore that, I think I would want a new science vessel. Oh, there's also one over here as well. But maybe I don't have one in my direct territory. After all. Yeah, just gave it a nice survey. So Ibleria, I can check out what's on the other side. And then I can also check out what's on the other side of Zemat-Tulon or whatever it's called.
Complete.
Okay, so my non-aggression and commercial pact was just broken. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to go to war with me, but I was actually not benefiting from that pact whatsoever. So I'm totally okay with that pact being broken. Yeah. Where's this scientist going? I forget what he was doing. Oh, he was trying to survey... Oh, yeah. He's moving to survey Kentatharum. He'll do a little jump over there. So this science ship here is just going to get ready to go to Ibleria. Or, yeah, Ibleria, whatever it's called. But I don't need to put a scientist in it just yet. I can just have the ship do the motions and not actually put a scientist in. Alright, I'm making sure that the bastion stations I have... So some of these bastion stations are for piracy suppression, and some are for border protection. And it's easy to leave the bastion stations up, but they are pretty costly, so I don't want to have them if I don't need them. Another thing I need to do is to get my my fleet moving again. So we're on the move. It would be wise of me, if, let's say, I'm actually wise, to keep an eye out for where their fleet's going, but I actually don't really see their fleet at the moment. Oh, and they actually have another wormhole in their system. So, there was a rebel colony here in the middle of the Otheli that just got flattened. And we're just jumping territory to territory. As you can see, our war score is going up a little bit, but I haven't really hit anything important yet. I will. But yeah, we've been mostly hitting just uninhabited territories that didn't have a lot of resources. Not that the resources really matter. I would say, if you really want your war goals to go up, you need to be doing two things. You need to be destroying large fleets and conquering
The
planets.
spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Okay, got that extra mining. At this point, I would say Durasteel armor would be great. Keeping myself a little bit extra protected. And survey activated once again. Cromwell getting some additional trade goods. Pretty cool. More trade goods coming from Cromwell. Now, one thing I'm probably going to have to do if I want to get rid of Obaria, which I probably do. No, actually, maybe I'll terraform it to match my population. I was going to try to depopulate it, basically abandon it as a
Incoming
colony.
transmission.
But I don't necessarily need to do that. The hive minds wanted an alliance with me. I said nope. I said nope pretty quickly too. So if I'm keeping Obaria, what I'll do is I'll have a deep space black site over it. And let's make sure that I have deep space black sites over all of my planets. And that way we are spreading our religion, I guess. So Cromwell, Curie. I can't have one over Glow because Glow is being occupied by hostile forces. And I can reactivate my Surveyor, and that gave Rizor some additional minerals. So where is Rizor? But hold left alt here. There it is. So let's get my construction ship out to Rizor. Alright, we have a bit of a battle for a planet over here in Bondoga.
Special project complete.
Ooh, and I finally reached into the Shroud. So now I can go into the contacts menu and reach into the Shroud for money and possibly get some good things. So here's what I can try. I have a high probability of success for getting increased lifespans, a very low probability of success for increased influence. I'm going to go for lifespans. And now it looks like many of my leaders have the increased lifespan trait. It worked. So if I take a look at my my leaders here, they're all going to live 40 extra years. I would say that's a pretty cool result for 1,000 energy credits. I would definitely make that investment again, considering my energy credit income can handle that. Another really cool thing about all of my ships having these regenerative tissue, not that the regenerative tissue is quick, but it also means that I don't need to take long pit stops to repair. So now that I've, as you can see, after I invade this planet, you're going to see that my war goals will go up considerably. Right now, I have occupied some of their territory for about 14%, but once I invade a planet, it's going to go up. So there is almost no one guarding this planet. Let's go land with Wolf and his brigade. I have a new tradition available. I'd probably go expansion, but because it has admin capacity. Supremacy would be really, really nice, but I haven't actually come up against an enemy that I haven't been able to squash. So I'm gonna get expansion.
Our champions are making planetfall. May the spirits protect them.
And expansion will allow me to expand into enemy territories, make claims, things like that.
Have secured a heathen planet
more quickly. So if you look at the war goals here, occupation obviously, as you can see, shot up a lot from 14 to 23%, and that's because I grabbed Quastan or whatever it's called, Castan. Yep. Well, that's what happens. You mess with me, you lose planets. Silly Zanami. Alright, here I'm going to change this world to a refinery world.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
We got the advanced research. Let's go with advanced shields. Really militarizing. I'm doing a lot of militaristic research because I suspect that we will need it soon.
Construction complete.
We're down to 0. We no longer have any of the Ubarak people anymore. So the crime at this place, the stability is way up, and the crime is way down, which is very cool. At this point, we can set this back up to be a... automatic...
Heretic fleet engaged.
I would say, what do we really need here? Maybe agriculture? It's going to become an agricultural planet, so let's go and set that up. So, agri-world, there it is. People aren't going to be moving here willingly because it's so darn inhospitable, but I'm going to encourage growth anyway. I'm ending martial law, ending the anti-crime crime campaign, and that's about it.
Construction complete.
Alright, so Waskar is going to be mine pretty soon. And they have another planet. Isn't that planet the same name? What kind of world is it? What kind of empire is this? Alright, you name this planet Bondoga. And you name this planet Bondoga. You know how confusing that must be? It'd be like New York. I mean, come on now. That's nonsense. So they have a fleet coming in that wanted to stop me. It's a fleet that's going to die. And then you're going to see the advantages of destroying fleets. So, space battles. 10% war exhaustion. I'm pushing my war goals because they are sending fleets to get destroyed by me. I love it. Cromwell's going to need some housing, as will Curie. The Glow is going to need some jobs, so I could do some more crystal mining or gas extraction. I'm going to do gas extraction. And then Megaton is going to need housing really soon because we're up at 0. So we're about to have some good old-fashioned homelessness. And we are in the 23rd century, so I don't think we need to do that to ourselves. Alright, so the scientist at Bachmir is going to do a experimental sublight jump over to Kentharum, and then we have another scientist or another science ship that needs to be manned. So let's switch some leaders around. This leader is going to be replaced by a Spark of Genius one, and then this scientist here is going to be put in, and then we are going to explore the other side of this wormhole. We also have our tributary having some of his territory be captured. That's sort of fine, but it will lower my war score. However, let's see, at the other Bondoga, or whatever it's called, they don't really have any armies here, so that's bad for them. Unfortunately, I kind of left my army back at Kastan, so I'm having to catch up. That's my bad. Usually I remember not to do that. I'm just going to fill Adam Station up with shipyards. And the other side of this wormhole is Theglin, all the way down here, that is in the star realm of Anato's territory. Interesting. Alright, we now know what's on the other side of that. Let's try to get out to Jundius and figure out what's on the other side. Oh, actually, here. We'll go here and figure out what's on the other side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a jump there because I have such a weird, jagged path to get there. And we will figure that out. Alright, Marty has lost 1 Corvette. But given the losses that the enemies have taken, that is just pennies. Penny of losses. Plus, I'm building up my alloys. In fact, let's go ahead and go to Megaton and increase this building up to... No, actually, I'm going to get rid of that. I have 5 free jobs right now, and I don't really need to add more.
Our champions are
In
making
hindsight.
planetfall. May the spirits protect them.
Alright, here's another invasion. Oops, wrong one.
Our champions have secured a heathen planet.
Alright, and we're going to head to their capital. That's the biggest punch for occupation. And then I'll just take all their populated planets and then retake some of my territory. And that should be enough. Looks like this agri-world needs some additional housing and jobs. Oh, no, it doesn't need jobs. It just needs the housing. We're already doing that. All right, I have an unemployed specialist at this planet, but I don't really have the ability to build any specialist buildings. Because what, we have 4 pop. Yeah, once I have 1 more population that moves here, we'll be able to add a specialist building in. All right, we're headed to their capital, their homeworld, and we are going to do terrible, terrible things there, i.e. invasion. And I'm only really interested in achieving my war goals here. I'm not actually all that interested in anything else. Also, let's see. I have some money for a healthcare campaign, which increases my pop growth. And I also have a lot of influence. So let's declare a saint for some additional unity. And capacity overload, too, for some additional energy credits. So as you can see at the end of this month, my energy credit income went from 50 to 121. Perfect. I do have the ability... So, my civics that I adopted, if you recall, is nationalistic zeal. But I could also reform the government. I don't really need war exhaustion and claim influence. What I could use is... Well, let's see. Let's see if there's something better. Distinguished Admiralty would be pretty good for the ship's fire rate if I get into a lot of wars. Maybe that's about it. Yeah, maybe I'm okay with what it is now. I'm not going to spend the influence to reform it. So there isn't sort of an obvious improved effect. So here's the capital. Alright, so the jump that I was going to make with one of my scientists, the problem is they just closed their borders to me, so I can no longer jump there. They closed their borders because the 10-year peace agreement has relapsed, so yeah, obviously I can't go there at the moment. Surveyor just got reactivated. Ooh, gas at Rurius. That is awesome. So where is my construction ship? It shouldn't be too far. Let's get out there and claim it. I'm getting a lot of specialty resources, plenty of it, which is great because that will be able to fuel advanced ship technology. So at their capital, they actually have a rather large army garrison, larger than my current invading army, which means I'm going to have to bombard it for a while to soften them up. I could alternatively start sourcing some additional armies, but it would be a very, very, very long... I'll do it, but it will be a very long reinforcement because they're pretty distant to the front. So I have 10 more army invasion units queued up just now. Another thing I could do is purchase caravan coins.
Are after our spaceport.
So let's buy... would like to buy them in bulk. So let's get up to... a little bit more money. I'm going to buy 26,000 caravan coins. And then with my caravan coins, I'm going to open up a reliquary. And I'm going to buy one. So this reliquary is joking about EA that all it did was give me a sense of pride and accomplishment. Okay, well, I'd like to open up more reliquaries. There's sometimes there's really good things in them, but it's totally a gamble. But since I had all this extra money, I figured, yeah, why not? So what happens...
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
As I start to invade this planet, the devastation levels start to increase, and the more devastation there is, the less protected the defending armies have, making it easier to invade. Let's get plasma thrusters for tech next. My scientist arrived at Kentharum. There's nothing here, so I'm just going to survey it. That was entirely my intent. And then my other science ship... Oh, the one at Cromwell. Yeah, so I have two at Cromwell right now. Let's go assist research at Ubaria, even though there's no reason to do it. I just have a free scientist. Or actually, we could go to Curie. Let me just do a jump to Curie. Is Curie generating any science? No. Well, a little bit of a societal science. Okay. So, there's a teeny bit of a point going there, I guess.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Citadel of Faith is a really big megachurch that I just unlocked. Now, Psionic Army would be really, really nice, but I think for now, I'm going to do habitability research. That will make it a little bit easier to inhabit Ubaria until I terraform it. And then also it makes my homeworld a little bit more habitable as well. Oh no, my habitability of the homeworld is 100%. Maybe I'll reconsider that. Let me go back to science and change this. No, atmospheric filtering is fine. All the armies that I just generated are done, although I just realized that any armies that I made at the glow can't go anywhere. Because the glow is currently occupied. So I'm going to embark them and they're just going to get destroyed. Because I don't want to have to pay for them indefinitely. Sort of a sad thing to do to your armies, but whatever.
Darkness has claimed one of our fleets.
So we're going to have the... Oh, that's interesting. I don't actually have an easy way to get to reinforce my armies anymore because this territory is closed. But yeah, we're going to get the armies poised and ready to reinforce if we need. And let's take a look at their capital here. Their garrison is still pretty strong. A part of me thinks I should just go squashing... Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to squash the rest of their planets and then come back to their capital.
The non-believers are fighting amongst themselves.
Fleets don't seem to be able to...
Construction complete.
This is really strange. There is no route to get here? How is that even possible? There's some sort of bug going on with the hyperlanes here. Where I can't warp out of here? Can I leave this at all? Nope. I can just go back to where I came from. I guess they're... That's annoying. Alright, so let's go keep hammering that planet. because there's nothing else I could do. I could try to do an invasion even though I'm undermanned, but, you know, that's not always the best decision to make. I'm going to do a sublight jump to Zorf to figure out what's here. That's going to take me an excessively long time, but that's fine. Those scientists don't really have anything else to do, so might as well do that, right? Alright, well, I'm just going to wait until that devastation creeps upwards so that I can more easily destroy them.
The non-believers are fighting amongst themselves.
At some of my stations here, I'm going to start working on anchorages. It's expensive, very, very, very expensive, but it will allow me to
The
have
spirits have granted us new wisdom.
more ships that don't get taxed so hard. Alright, so that research is already done. Fleet capacity, sure. Or actually, let's do interstellar campaigns, so that the claim cost is lower and the war exhaustion is less.
The non-believers are fighting
Now,
amongst themselves.
if you see here, this is the level of war exhaustion. When you're at 100% war exhaustion, it means that your society, your empire, is tired of the war that you're currently in. So it's sort of like putting a time limit on
the spirits have granted us new
a war,
wisdom.
so they can't last forever. All right, miniature containment fields for extra research. These guys are offering me a skill 3 scientist to join me. No. I'm not interested because my scientists are way superior in the fact that they're psionic. But that does remind me, maybe I can buy a reliquary from them. Open a reliquary, buy one. It gave me a gun with no trigger. Surveyor got reactivated. Extra science at Stimsys. So my construction ship is at Rurius for the last one, but we'll go to Stimsys next. And my scientist at Curie has arrived, and we can start to assist research. And that will increase the amount of science we get out of Curie. So right now we're getting 12. And once we get into orbit, we get 13. It's not much, but it's something. Science out of nothing, right? Alright, so the war exhaustion of this war is getting up there. I think what I'm going to want is maximum devastation. Get into this red section. Right now I'm in orange devastation. And once I get to maximum devastation, I'm going to go with a... with an invasion. Cromwell just got terraformed, which is really, really cool. So that means that at Adam, I'm going to make a colony ship. And then we'll have 2 colonies at Cromwell. This new one is a 25-sized world. That actually could become my future capital, given that it is so large. Really, really large worlds have huge benefits. You can fit a lot on them. Alright, so the devastation, once it hits about 75%, it will go up to the next tier, and then I will go ahead and do an army invasion. I might not win, because my armies aren't as large. But I've been sitting in orbit for a long time, just pummeling this place. So, there we go. We just hit the next tier of devastation, so we'll land armies. I don't know if I'm going to win this, but I gotta try.
Our champions are making planetfall. May the spirits protect them.
So as you can see, we're pretty evenly matched. And it looks... I would say I'm losing, actually. Even though I have a few more units, they have a defensive advantage that I can't make up for. So I'm going to retreat.
The apostates have defeated our invasion.
I'm just going to keep shelling them. I'm going to retreat with the 11 units that I still have who are alive. I do have backup, but the backup's not really able to come because they're cut off by this Wraith Spectre that's sort of camping here. So I don't know if this backup's ever going to be all that useful, but we'll see. We will see. All right, more research output from stations would be nice. Working on my science. Checking in on the planets here. So Glow, you need... Let's see. Generator district, maybe? Everywhere else is just fine. We also will have that, that colony ship in just a moment. There it is. So colony ship will send you over to Cromwell to colonize. And this will be called... Ooh, I need a new name, don't I? I'm going to name you Verena. Some other empire just got squished. I actually don't know who it is, because I've never had contact with them. And I'm doing the surveyor again. So at Wormos, we got extra alloys. That's pretty cool. I don't even need to build it, because we already had a mining station over it. Alright, we are at maximum, almost maximum devastation here, and I'm just going to keep pummeling them. But we can reach into the Shroud again. Sure, let's do it. So I can either get increased unity, influence, or evasion. I'm going to try for unity. And the boon was just... the boon worked. So let's take a look at our unity gain. My unity... is...
The non-believers are fighting amongst themselves.
Where is this benefit? 30% additional unity. Holy cow. That was worth it. Now here's the thing. While I'm pummeling them from space, their armies aren't really recuperating, whereas mine can. So even though I have inferior numbers, I still might be able to catch up and beat them. Alright, here's a huge opportunity. Let's get battleships. They're the biggest ships that you can normally make. There are larger ships, but the game limits you about how many of those larger ships you're able to construct. Alright, this construction ship has nowhere to go, so sit around.
The non-believers are fighting amongst themselves.
Alright, so we're at 100% devastation.
Incoming transmission.
They want a peace offer. I'm going to decline. Because I'm about to do a lot of damage. They wanted a peace offer because they're getting pretty exhausted of this war. So am I, to be honest.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
I'm going to get foreign... No, actually, ecological adaptation is a very important one. Although thought... these are really good too, but I'm going to do adaptation. That will make Ubaria
Our champions
useful
are
again.
making planetfall. May the spirits protect them.
So here's the new invasion. And as you can see, they already had some wounded. And we're evenly matched because they don't have defensive bonuses, because I've basically pummeled their planet to nothing. So this is one that we could very well win. So if you don't succeed at first, you can retreat and try again. And as soon as I clear out the disengaged...
Our champions have secured a
Boom.
heathen planet.
We have secured a heathen planet. Alright, let's go to the next planet down. But conquering their capital planet has really put the occupation goals far ahead and forward, which is great. And I'm just going to keep doing that.
Construction complete. Construction complete.
So some of the stations that I queued up to upgrade are upgraded. And what I'm going to be doing is adding anchorages to them so that I can have more ships total.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Alright, research just got done. Hyper shields look really good to me. And a new tradition can be adopted, so I'd like to work to admin capacity. So that's what I'll do. And we have a really, really small army, but it might be enough to invade some of these. Yeah, they only have 2 regiments of troops there, so it's not going to be that hard to invade here. And they're getting pretty exhausted this war. Yes, I will continue my agreement for tradition and for science. That sounds good to me, too. Alright, unspent trait points. At this point, maybe I should just spend some on traits. So I'm going to... Worker basic resource output. That's what I'll do. It's going to take me 16 months, and then all my workers will have increased output. At this point, I should also be researching the L-Gate, so I'm going to sell off a bunch of the extra resources I have, talk to the curators, and pay them to tell me a little bit about what they know about the L-Gates. Once you get full L-Gate research, which is out of 7, you can
We are spreading
open it
our
up.
faith to a new world.
Alright, so Cromwell just got... The colony ship got there, and it's now Verena. And then Ubaria here, now that I'm actually keeping it, and researching science to be able to improve it, Isolde will be the name of it. And then at Ubaria, the system, we'll call this Isolde as well. So as to not be too confused. Exotic gases fuel just ran out. I'm going to redo that. I'm going to redo shield boost 2. And yeah, that's all I'm going to do. Just to keep this ships a little tougher. We've probably been pummeling this planet enough. Let's go and invade. And generally speaking, when all of the planets that the enemy holds are invaded,
Our champions are making planetfall.
your
May
war
the
score goes
spirits
up
protect
considerably. Basically, they don't have the capacity to really fight you anymore if you invade all their planets. So they tend to...
Our champions have secured a heathen planet.
They tend to surrender. As you can see, the war goals here went from like -230 to just -30. So all I really need to do at this point is to recapture some of the territories that they captured, and they're gonna surrender. Now this army here, I'm sort of curious, would I be able to go over to this system with the Wraith or the Spectre rather, and sort of travel around it? I'm about to find out. It's not a big loss if I lose it. Armies are pretty easy to replace. So Isolde here is ready for their first building, and I'm going to put a temple in there. They also don't have a governor. I hadn't really decided to govern it till now, because we were kind of going to pull up stakes and abandon it. But yeah, maybe I'll think about governing it. But I'm going to focus on this war for now. Alright, so they've captured the capital of my tribute, and that is causing me war score loss. So I'm going to go ahead and recapture this. Also, my army was able to get through. So we got to go save this replacement army, this reinforcements.
Construction complete.
And rendezvous with them. And in fact, I ought to do that again. So let's go ahead and recruit some more. 1, 2, 3. Not at Glow, because Glow is occupied.
Construction complete.
A lot of the stations I upgraded are now able to accommodate extra buildings. And as you can see, the naval capacity went from 60 to 88. Alright, so the reinforcements have just combined. Wolf's army is up to 16 from like 11 or whatever it was. And now I'm going to start reclaiming these planets. They're my planets. You're not allowed to keep them. Alright, let's go ahead and invade.
Construction complete.
Alright, I'm at now 100% war exhaustion, so in 2 years, I'm going to be obligated to end this war. So it's really important to me to
making planetfall.
be
May
very
the
effective.
spirits protect them.
I also lost another Corvette. So the reason why this war isn't over is they're occupying my tribute's
Species
territories.
tampered with. May the spirits forgive us. Our champions have secured a heathen planet.
And yeah, these territories are being occupied, and the fact that they're being occupied is keeping this war going. It's sort of, I own all of their stuff, but until I own the stuff that they took from my ally, I'm sort of stuck in this stupid war. And unfortunately for me, they don't have insignificant troops on these planets. But I see an opportunity. No peace offer. I see an opportunity to. All right, this is going to really hurt this army, but an opportunity to do a lot of damage. So I'm going to go smush their fleets, and hopefully that will make a difference.
May
here.
the spirits protect them.
Now all the troops that I wanted are ready to reinforce, so let's get them to Iberia, because my armies at Astarte is definitely going to be hurting after this invasion. I knew that was going to be the case. Alright, I still don't want their scientist, but let's go talk to them real quick and see about opening a reliquary. And it had a bunch of engineering research in there. That's pretty cool. Finally, I get something that's actually has some value.
Our champions have secured a heathen planet.
Wolf's Brigade just reclaimed Astarte, and the war goals that I have should be going up soon, I hope. So they have a fleet that's just fleeing me. Big ol' wusses.
Construction complete.
I'll catch up. They're not going to be able to run forever. And I'm hoping that knocking out their fleets here levels out the war goals enough that that I'll be able to win. Okay, so here is a big thing. The Great Khan, who is sort of a marauder, just came into the world. So let's take a look at the contacts here. Where are they? They spawned up here, I think. I think the Horde is what they are. And what that means is basically it's a marauder. They're like marauders that are going to be... Yeah, this is the Great Khan. They're marauders that are going to be spreading their territory. Now, they're not in my territory, so I don't actually need to worry about them too much. But everyone that's bordering them is going to need to worry quite a bit. Alright, so the reason I'm not winning this war is because the Lachex here stupidly made a lot of demands and haven't actually worked towards those demands. So I think what I'm going to do is split my fleet into two so I can get twice as much done. And you're not going to be Perix, you're going to be Tectus fleet. Tectus fleet is going to start reclaiming territory that I've lost, and Marty's fleet is going to beat up whatever fleets they have left.
Construction complete.
Divide and conquer. So they're trying to reclaim stuff that they lost because of stuff I've conquered. And I need to get that back. So here's Marty's fleet. Taking the power back. And we'll just keep doing that all over the place. So we need to make sure that the worlds, the Lachex worlds here, are owned by the Lachex and not by the enemies. Because they're occupying worlds right now that are causing this war not to be over. I really don't... Sometimes having a tribute is annoying because they have a little bit of a life of mind of their own. And this tribute bit off a big piece of the Zanami that they couldn't afford to keep, which is really obnoxious, in my opinion. But it happens.
Construction complete.
So some of the Wolf Brigade reinforcements are just about here. I'm going to have them all combined into one big reinforce group. Tectus's fleet is recapturing lost territory. This peace offer is still not what I'm asking for, so I'm going to refuse it. Marty's fleet has lost another corvette, but they're still operational and just fine. What I'm going to start doing is, with Marty's fleet, I'm going to start capturing their territory, see how they like it. I was last time able to scoot around this Spectre, or Wraith, or whatever they are. And here is some energy clouds. Okay, let's hop here, I guess. Gonna have my scientists hop around and try to figure out all the mysteries of the universe. So, oh, yep, achieve war goals. There we go. Send offer. And I get exactly what I asked for. So, the Lachex here obviously claimed a heck of a lot of territory. Good on them. Of course, I had to do the heavy lifting for them. And then the Zanami here is humiliated. So they gave me a whole bunch of influence, which I really ought to use because I'm about to max out. So I'm going to do farming and production targets. Okay, well, that's all the time I have for this episode. It actually ran a little long, but I did want to see that war to its conclusion. If you have any tips, tricks, feedback for me, drop me a line. Thanks for viewing, and I'll catch you next time. Adios, everybody.